Well, Bound for Glory 2009 happened. What am I supposed to give as a proper reaction to this pay-per-view? Because, in all honesty, I wish I could sit here and say that Bound for Glory is a great show, because not every match on the show sucked. In fact, I have a couple of 3 stars on here. In fact, I've got a 4-star on here. But at the same time, there were many things that have pissed me off about this show that just left me, like, rubbing my head. What the fuck? It leaves me... I mean, I'm probably not even going to... The ratings will definitely be on the side. I don't even know if I'm going to talk about the ratings, but I will talk about what I liked and disliked. The first match we got was the Ultimate X match, which was for the title. And it was Amazing Red defending his X Division title against Suicide, Christopher Daniels, Homicide. That would be 4 people. And I know I'm missing somebody. I know we have the Motor City Machine Guns who had gotten their way in, which was fine. I could accept that. D'Angelo Dinero, of course, did not appear, supposedly because of a death in the family, so he was not included. This one I can't complain too much. There was a lot of good spots, especially by Amazing Red. Amazing Red was just on fire for this match. There was a neat spot with Christopher Daniels and Suicide where it looked like they freaking killed each other. I would not be surprised if either Suicide or Daniels are hurt. But yeah, it was a good match, or great match, I would say. It was a very entertaining... There was just so many spots to count. It's not even funny, but the main one you gotta look for is the last one with Daniels and Suicide. That was, in my opinion, the best one. The Motor City Machine Guns acting like themselves, really good. And that's pretty much it. So, I gave this match 4.5 stars. It was a really good match. Sarita and Taylor Wilde versus the Beautiful People. This match sucked. It was botches left and right. Before the match even began, Lacey Von Erich, who is, of course, we all know the new member of the Beautiful People, made out with the referee. I mean, she was trying to turn on the referee, but then not only did she try to turn him on, she made out with him, alright? And the guy, of course, being the horny bastard that he was, put out a chair and let her stay. Then Earl Hebner comes out, fucking going in the ring, telling the referee, no, she can't be doing this. She does the same exact thing to him, and he kicks her out. I just remember the Beautiful People being good-looking women, pretty much. It was just supposed to be good-looking women who were trying to rid of the ugly people. I don't remember them being sluts. I mean, yeah, their taunts, yeah, you could say were slutty in a sense, but they were never technically sluts. Lacey Von Erich just went for the slut role like no tomorrow. She literally was trying to be a fucking slut. But other than that, this match was just it was just botches all over the place, and it was short. It was nowhere near the other one, where the other one they gave them a little bit more time. Still not a lot of time, but still a bit of time. This match didn't give them any time, and they just botched like crazy. And the ending was, of course, botched. The whole Sarita giving the drop kick and then Taylor Wilde giving the German suplex for the win. It was stupid. 1 star. That's all it gets from me. TNA Legend's title. Kevin Nash, who was the champion going into this, versus Eric Young versus Hernandez. Honestly, this was just okay, because it was not that memorable. There were a couple of good spots, I'll give it that, but there was nothing really memorable about it. It was just slow. Kevin Nash and Eric Young were basically a tag team throughout this whole run, through the beginning at least, trying to take out Hernandez. They were trying to be a group and basically a team. And at the end, Eric Young rips off Kevin Nash's singlets. I think that's what they're called. Fucking Kevin Nash gets ready to do the jackknife, but Eric Young wanted to put him under his legs, so he threw him as hard as he can to hit the low blow, pins him for the 3 count, and now Eric Young's our new Legends champion. A forgettable match. A very forgettable match. There's nothing really to remember about this match. It wasn't shitty, but it wasn't great either. There was just a couple spots. I know Hernandez did a spot diving outside the ring. I think it was onto Eric Young. But Kevin Nash was very sloppy in this match. Kevin Nash was just, his timing was off completely in this match. I gave it 2.5, so what can you do? Then we get to Full Metal Mayhem, which is for the IWGP Tag Team titles and the TNA World Tag Team titles. Full Metal Mayhem, lamest terms, is a TLC match. You've got the British Invasion, Brutus Magnus and Doug Williams, versus the Main Event Mafia, who are Booker T and Scott Steiner, Beer Money Inc., Robert Roode and James Storm, and the Dudleys, Bubba Ray and Devon. This was a mess. A complete and utter mess. Too much shit was happening. There were missed spots, if I remember correctly. There were pretty much a lot of missed spots in this match. Because the camera angles were just so pitiful, it's not even funny. The match dragged at the end when it was down to Beer Money Inc. and the British Invasion. It was just like, it was pitiful. There was a part in the match where Devon grabbed the IWGP Tag Team titles, and we all thought, oh, it's over then. Because usually the first belt you grab would be the ender. Oh, no, that wasn't the case, because he grabbed the IWGP Tag Team title, but later we would find out that wouldn't end the match. You know, it would be Brutus Magnus, I think it was, who grabs the TNA Tag Team World title. And that's pretty much how it went down. And this match was just like full of missed spots. Booker T was eliminated early, or was injured. I don't know if he was really injured. Hopefully he wasn't, because it's never good to see a wrestler get hurt. But he got carried out, and he was never seen for the rest of the match. Scott Steiner did a couple Frankensteiners here and there, and pretty much this was a 3-star match. But the fact is, it was just so convoluted. There was too many people in the ring. There was too many things going on at once. There was too many missed camera angles. This would have been a good match, and it dragged. It felt like as if they were just carrying on this match to make it as long as possible, and it just didn't work. But 3 stars it gets, because it wasn't bad either. There were a couple spots I liked. Then comes the TNA Knockouts title match. ODB, who is the champion going in, versus Tara versus Awesome Kong. There is a confusing part in this match that I can't tell if it's real or not. There was a part where I think Tara got, who you would know better as Victoria, got into a fight with an audience member. And usually when that happens, the other 2 people who are in the ring, they would be wrestling. They wouldn't even care. It's like the Royal Rumble. Unless somebody big is returning, like John Cena when he returned. But most of the time, when someone's coming out, they just continue wrestling. Kind of like when John Cena was doing his rap in 2003. When he came out, people were still wrestling. When Tara got into that fight, ODB and Awesome Kong stared. They didn't just stare, they looked confused. You can tell they had that confused look on their face. They did not know what the fuck was going on. Or at least that's what the indication was. And then Tara, after she got into a fight, she left the area. And not only were they shocked, the fucking commentators were silent. If this was fake, I'll give TNA that. Good job. You got me convinced that was real. Otherwise, wow. I don't know what to say. All I know is this was, again, another non-memorable match, 2 3/4. ODB retains. I guess that's a good thing because ODB is starting on her Knockouts title run, but whatever. Then comes Samoa Joe versus Bobby Lashley. Folks, as you all know, I'm not a Bobby Lashley fan. No. I mean, a lot of people have disagreed with me on this, that he is very athletic. He's athletic in the MMA world. I never thought he was a great pro wrestler. Joe, in the beginning I never liked him, but he has grown to me. I like Joe now. And I was hoping that Joe would win this match, although I knew it wouldn't happen. This match I don't even think lasted 10 minutes. It was actually going good in the beginning. They were actually, Lashley was actually showing some athleticism. But then, it just ended abruptly. Like, he had him in like a chokehold, and fucking Joe passed out, if you want to say. It just happened. There was no build-up to the finish. It just happened. And the match was like less than 10 minutes. People were hating Lashley, which was, I guess, they were reacting to Lashley. That's the shocking part. It's not even the fact they booed him, they reacted to him, which is fucking weird. Joe was loved in this match. He was praised in this match like no tomorrow. 2 stars this match gets. It just ended way too abruptly, and it was just, because after the first like 3 minutes of the good action, it just went downhill from there. Monsters Ball match. Mick Foley versus Abyss. Remember earlier when I was talking about shit camera angles? Well, you're gonna get them again in this match. Well, there's 2 things I gotta complain about in this match. First of all, what's with the fucking taser? Why do they have to keep going in this cheesy road of the fucking taser? Really? What's with the taser? It's not, it's not even the taser that pisses me off. It's the fact they make it look so cheesy that pisses me off. And that's why I don't like it. I don't like that fucking taser. That was the first thing that I had a gripe with. The second thing that I had a gripe with was Daphne took a bump. Daphne took one of those sick bumps that makes her that BAMF, or BAMF as we like to call him, badass motherfucker, the badass fucking female. You missed the spot completely. They missed the fucking spot. You can see her going down, but you don't see her going through the thing until they show a replay of it, and even then it's still hard to see. TNA, this is exactly what's wrong with your fucking company. Your camera angles are shit, so then you miss spots. There have been so many missed spots in this fucking pay-per-view. It's not even funny. And not only that, there was a 3 count in this match, and fucking the officials mistaked it for a 2. It was a big botch that we all thought, oh, it was all over. Abyss lost. I give it 2.5. This was just, it was just so convoluted. It's not even funny. Then we have Matt Morgan versus Kurt Angle. This match started off very slow. I was not into this at all. I was like, why do I care? This is just boring. It picked up after a while. But the problem is there was a variation that they kept doing. They did at least 3 times within a span of like 3 to 5 minutes, which was Kurt Angle would get him into an ankle lock. He would get him into the ankle lock, and Matt Morgan would try to reverse it by spinning himself around and kicking him off, and Kurt Angle would hold on, keep holding, and then he would do it again and kick Angle off successfully the second time. And they did this at least 3 times, and it just got repetitive, and it was like, can you at least do something new here? The ending was abrupt. Again, I don't get what was with these abrupt endings. There was just, the endings were just so abrupt. It's not even funny. Fucking the TNA Legends title match was abrupt. It's kind of, but you could kind of see because he got hit with the low blow. Samoa Joe versus Bobby Lashley ended abruptly, and then this match ended abruptly. It was still a good match. I'll give it 3.5. The fact is, I think this match also had some missed spots as well. This had a couple of missed spots. It was just, the camera angles were just so fucking off. Whatever. 3.5 stars it gets. And we get to the main event, the TNA World Tag Team title, or the TNA World title match, I should say. AJ Styles defending his title against Sting. Whoop-de-fucking-do. All I can say is, thank the fucking Lord that Sting did not come out the winner of this match. But again, this was a good match. I give it 3.25. But here's my problem. A couple of missed spots. Once again with this match. What else was the problem? Oh, it ended abruptly. Again. I guess that's his new finisher, the fucking thing where he goes onto the ropes and jumps off and does a big splash onto Sting. I mean, what? Really? Is that his new finisher? Because I could have sworn the corkscrew moonsault and the Styles Clash was his finisher. it just seemed random. It was still a good match, but that's all it was. And then after the match, AJ grabs a mic, or he tries to find a mic, but 2 mics that he's given don't work. And then he gets a 3rd mic, and finally it works, and he wants Sting to give a speech. And we're all thinking, oh, Sting's going to give this warm felt speech. And it was what? It wasn't even a good speech. It was just there. He just says something along the lines of, I don't ever want to leave. And then you think he's going to end it with something epic, and it just ends. This pay-per-view was the epitome of botches, abrupt endings, confusion, and bad camera angles. That's what this fucking pay-per-view was. Horrible camera angles, abrupt endings, fucking botches left and right, and confused moments left and right. It wasn't a bad show. I give it a 6.75 out of 10 because it did have a couple 3-star matches, and it did have the Ultimate X match, which was awesome. But other than that, this pay-per-view was just like, I seriously have a headache right now because of this pay-per-view. I mean, I seriously am thinking about dumbing it down to a 6.5 or a 6.25. I'll give it this. I prefer this over WrestleMania because there were things I really did enjoy on the show. So, call it what you want, but this is not bound for glory. This is bound for confusion. That's all it is. I'm going to go take an ibuprofen, go to bed, and then go to work and try and wrap my brain around this pay-per-view to see what they were thinking. Anyhow, I'm done. Later.